G'day and welcome back to another DB Legends video. In this video we're going to be taking a look at my build for Demon King Piccolo. And yeah, honestly speaking, this guy seems okay. He's a free to play unit, so there is always that caveat, and I think Legends sometimes really hits the mark with these fierce fights, and then other times they don't hit the mark at all. So I think it's kind of like a balancing act between when they do and when they don't. And I think considering how weak the DB Saga was, I feel like Demon King Piccolo could have been slightly better. With that being said, he still has some very good usability. His special move reduces enemy ki, which is very interesting, very good at disrupting the opposition. His special skill restores ally health, which is very good, and obviously restores own ki and increases his own health restoration and blast damage inflicted, which is really solid. He is of course a DB boost unit, which is also definitely what they need, even just from a bench perspective. Him giving that base strike and blast defense is good. And I like that they make them base strike and blast defense, because it kind of just makes them all purpose. Like, they're not giving offensive buffs, you're just using them as a flat defensive buff for the team, and that's okay. So that's obviously a good aspect for him. And then of course as well, talking about his passives and his main ability. So main ability is pretty interesting. Restores health, restores vanish engage, which is good, minuses his costs and increases your Dragon Balls. So you have a little bit of synergy with the new Goku that's released, because that new Goku, well, those of you who don't know, he thrives on getting Dragon Balls. Like, his entire build is around getting Dragon Balls. So yeah, definitely some decent interchanging synergy there. But yeah, obviously, it's like I said, it's difficult to see with a free-to-play unit. In terms of passives, he's got nothing super duper remarkable. What is interesting is if he's on the battle after an allied attack ends, he renews his cards, shortens your ally substitution counts. He can increase the damage inflicted by tag, DB, regeneration, or event exclusive units, which is pretty good. He's got a shortened substitution counter just by default. And then when the enemy switches while he's on the battlefield, he helps to restore his health, nullify unfavorable element factors, and yeah, just inflicts them all with a downgrade, which is pretty good. He does have some ways to draw cards, like if the enemy does cover change while he is attacking, he can draw at most 2 new cards when you have 3 or fewer. He shortens his ally substitution count, and then every time they use a special move or special arts card, he shortens his substitution count. He reduces their Dragon Balls. So there is some synergy between him and the rest of the DB Saga team. The DB Saga team is very much orientated around obtaining and utilizing the Dragon Balls. So like Goku's unique gauge, that depends on the Dragon Balls. The power of Goku depends on the Dragon Balls. Substitution counters, a lot of them like to jump in and jump out. So that's also incredibly important as well. So there is this feeling that there is some kind of build structure between him and the DB Saga team. It's just that as a free-to-play, they never really sometimes make them remarkable enough. And I think Piccolo is on the fine line between just about being good enough to be considered, at least temporarily, as an option. When he gets going, he's good. When he gets going, he provides some decent buffs to the team. His blasts can do some really good damage, and he also has a really nice special ability, which I enjoy a lot. That ability to reduce the opposition's ki is something that's very crucial to disrupting the opposition. Nowadays, disrupting your opposition is almost just as important as setting yourself up, because the opposition nowadays, everyone can do 18,000 attacks, and I think like it is something that's a bit important for you to work around. And like with me, honestly speaking, it's just it's a bit sort of counterintuitive to kind of sit in the position and just accept your opponent's setup. So having units that can disrupt them, reduce ki, you know, basically like seal abilities, all those sort of things are really good, and that's kind of what Goku does. You know, the new kid Goku. That's kind of his big shtick. His big shtick is, you know, reducing ki and stopping special activation of abilities. And so Piccolo, you know, although not strictly in that mold, obviously because he's a free-to-play unit, he does at least have some kind of disruption ability. So I think that's good. I think you need that now if you're going to be useful as any kind of unit. If you're not going to be remarkable at anything, be remarkable at preventing your opponent from playing the game. Because yeah, that's basically going to be super important. So yeah, but outside of that, honestly speaking, pretty straightforward stuff. I would say really nothing too wild. And yeah, at the end of the day, yeah, had a pretty decent time running him. The equipment helped, everything helped, and he had a pretty solid performance, if not unspectacular. So yeah, I do think he is, you know, a decent free-to-play unit, especially since, you know, they now give them that unique equip, which is pretty helpful from their event. It's quite a nice stat stick boost, and yeah, I think he's alright. Without, like I said, without being too remarkable, I think he's alright. He does some decent damage, and you can line people up really nicely with the ultimate. I think, you know, for me, I think you can get people really good with the special moves, and you can set yourself up for a bit of a successful run and some good damage. Obviously, blast orientated, I think blast teams are coming back in vogue a little bit without being too top of the meta, so that's something that does help. But yeah, I think overall you have to accept a little bit that, yeah, you are maybe not in the best frame of mind when it comes to like using free-to-play units. I just think, yeah, there's not a great basis to use them. That's it from me. I'll see you guys in the next one. Till then, take care, stay safe, and yeah, let me know what you think about Demon King Piccolo. Otherwise, I will see you guys in the next video. So until then, bye.